jank word.
All right, let's do this.
Okay, you're going to point? Coming up on Popmockers, why are strangers tweeting on my TV screen? Don't bully the bullies. How to make sports more interesting. And this just in. This week, fans of the TV show Lost celebrated the date that matches the numbers 4/8/15, which had some sort of significance in that show. What they should be celebrating is 5/23, the day that stupid show finally ended.
Hey everybody, this is Pop Mockers. My name is Chris Cowan, and I am not addicted to failure. I could quit anytime. With me today are...
Chris Quant, the original inventor of Q-tips.
Interesting. You know, that's a fun fact. Not everybody knows that about you.
No.
And
Nate Henderson, the original inventor of the Moscow Mule.
I think I'm going to need to see the
I have to Google that.
sign to back that up, Nate. I don't know about that. This is Pop Muckers, the most offensive clean podcast on planet Earth. It's a show where we make fun of everything social media and a little bit of each other. This is episode 58, April 9th, year of our Lord, 2015. How's everybody?
Fantastic.
Doing well, thanks.
Awesome. I am so glad to hear it. Good friend Francisco Ruiz from the Retro Rewind podcast came up with a game that you can play to make this podcast even more interactive. If you head over to popmockers.com/bingo, you can get your own bingo card and follow along with the podcast and look for some of the things that, we might say throughout the show. And if you catch us covering any of those topics, then you get to mark that off your bingo sheet. And if you get 5 in a row, then you win the satisfaction of knowing that you got 5 in a row and that our show is somewhat predictable. Not sure I'm selling that right.
Yes.
Some of the top. This is great. Francisco came up with these, and these are brilliant. Some of the topics on the bingo card are you hipster, using the wrong segment bumper. Let's see. Cowan has a special needs son, mocking racism, pretty princess, and listener feedback. Quant is a cancer survivor, all that stuff. So awesome stuff, and I like it. It makes me feel like we have inside jokes or something, and that's always good. Hey, guess what? Patreon.com/studios. I want to give a special shout out to our Christopher Battles, Isaac Chandler, Kathy Hansen, James Kennison, Alexander DeFreitas, and Francisco Ruiz. Hey, that name sounds familiar. You can support us as well. Again, patreon.com/breakroomstudios, and you can get exclusive content and happy feelings knowing that you're making the world a better place. One episode of Pop Mockers at a time. And again, you can support us by using our affiliate link for Bluehost. /Bluehost, and you can sign up for getting web hosting for your website instead of that old GeoCities link you were using.
On All right. Bingo card, that's A23. A23.
Wait, what are you talking about? The self-promotion? Or what?
Yeah,
what?
No,
excessive
promoting?
that
was just fine. That was a good little bit there, Cowan.
I was not
No,
excessive.
you
okay. You would know.
Making a joke.
Yeah.
Making a joke.
Yeah. Okay.
Pop muckers. We make fun. Read the caption.
Sure. Whatever. All right. Moving on. Weekly updates. It's the part of the show where we talk about what's new, what's been happening during the last week. Who wants to kick things off? I got stuff to talk about.
Well,
Nate, what do you
that's
have?
always true. Always true. Well, let me.
Yeah, it's almost like I should have a podcast to talk about stuff.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
See, you sit there judging me.
Oh, wow.
Yet you are full on participating in podcasting. And what is podcasting except, hey, I have stuff to talk about, so I'm going to talk about it.
Point taken.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm just glad we're not using exaggerations or anything. We're spot on.
You judge me. You sit on a high horse and judge me. Not with the horse, but with the giraffe. You're so high and mighty and highfalutin.
Oh, you're so right. You know what? I'm just going to rack my brain, and I'm going to pass it over to Quant while I think of something significant that happened in my life over the past week.
So, we're talking about sports a little bit later, and I had a sports-related moment the other day. I was at work, and I work in a hotel right now doing AV, and I was walking through the lobby and just happened to glance over...
Sure, you work at a hotel doing AV, right.
I don't...
What do those letters stand for? I don't want to even know.
Actual viscosity?
Bingo. Nailed it.
Nailed it, yeah. So I happened to glance over at the TV that's in the lobby, and the headline news is that Duke University won the NCAA championship. And you know how you just kind of look at something and go, huh, and keep on walking? Well, I'm in there's this big setup, and there's a guy, my supervisor and myself are standing there, and the guy comes over and introduces, he's like a photographer, and he's taking pictures of this event that we're at. And he introduces himself, and we're like, hey, how's it going? Oh, we're good. And he's like, hey, it's cool that your basketball team won. And I'm like, yeah, Duke took the whole thing. And he's like, yeah, and he walks off. And my supervisor looks at me, he's like, I had no idea. And I'm like, dude, the only reason I knew that is because I just looked at this headline on the TV. I have no idea what other than that. He's like, hey, nice cover. So I saw my dad later that day, and I was like, yeah, it was weird. This guy mentioned something about basketball team. I don't even know how he knew it. And my dad's like, because of the blue shirt you're wearing? I was like, I had no idea why he, had no relation that it was Duke. I had no idea Duke wore blue. I had no clue at all, except that I had just happened to see the headline and covered just enough to say, oh yeah, Duke won. Go sports team. Go players.
Go.
So
Go sports ball.
yeah. My dad finally connected the dot 5 hours later that it was because I was wearing a blue shirt. Is why the guy said something in the first place. I had no clue, not a clue at all.
Nice.
So Duke won, in case you didn't know, the NCAA.
Nice.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
There
And
you
Cowan's kid puked on me. So there was that.
Do tell?
Yeah.
What?
Cowan, were you going to talk about that later?
Yeah, I was going to talk about
right,
that.
fine.
You stole my thunder.
No, I didn't.
You stole my thunder.
I gave it a tease.
See, I
gave it a tease.
I didn't even know Duke was part of the NAACP.
I'll have to check my
enough.
bracket.
Yeah, there's a lot of black people on the team, Cowan.
Excuse me?
Is that what you were going for?
That is racist to
That
even
is
mention
racist
that.
and offensive, sir.
Did you hear what he said? He said it was the NAACP. You got
That's my joke. That's my joke.
Get the joke.
Gotta
get the joke.
Do you need me to repeat the joke again?
No.
Should I go over the joke again?
No.
I didn't even know Duke was part of the NAACP.
You know what? I don't think I
All
got
right.
that because I survived cancer. Did I mention that?
Oh, come on.
You would probably get it if you'd ever seen Star Wars. So, all right.
Yeah.
So,
free square, everybody.
This past weekend was Easter. Did you guys have a good Easter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was good.
Yeah, I guarantee it was better than mine, and you know why? Because I guarantee you didn't get puked on by your 3-year-old son at two separate Easter events.
No,
I got puked on by your three-year-old son at one Easter event.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Did some actually get on you?
Yes.
What?
Both my wife and I had to go home and change, Cowan.
Really?
To get the vomit.
Oh man, yeah, it was pretty bad.
Man, I'm disqualified. My son just puked in front of a Trader Joe's.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, see,
Everybody's puking.
see,
Yeah.
No, seriously, like on Facebook and at work, like everybody's kids are puking. It was like the week of puking kids. I'm sure it has no correlation to the fact that it's one of the highest candy consumption weekends either. But no, my son's hardly had any candy because he was puking all weekend. We went to a public Easter egg thing that was at like a local golf course, which it's funny because my wife was originally saying, hey, they're going to like have some world record breaking Easter egg hunt down at the state capitol about half an hour away. We should go to that. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like the greatest thing ever. Mass chaos, largest Easter egg hunt ever in...
Which it turned out to be. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did. I made a point to tag my wife in that article about how it was mass chaos. People were getting trampled. Adults were getting in and stealing the eggs and all kinds
taking
of
eggs from little kids.
People were losing their kids.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah.
So that I'm kind of like, yeah, that's kind of why I didn't want to go that. So we went to one that was closer, which is really good because the only thing that could have made the fact that so I took a picture of my son right before the Easter egg hunt was supposed to begin, and you can tell in the picture he looks totally terrible. He's not happy at all. And then I found out why 10 seconds later when he puked all over me and all over himself and all over the ground, and we did not get to participate in that Easter egg hunt. So probably the only thing that could have made that worse is if we went half an hour away to do it and got trampled by like 50 million people in the process.
Now, Cowan, I'm curious. I think you said like on Friday or something that Connor had the stomach. I'm not sure when you texted us, or maybe you texted me saying Connor apparently has the stomach flu. This was after. I assume this was the very first time you realized that he was sick was when he puked at this Easter egg hunt, or did he have something like this a day prior and you guys just braved it?
So he had it the day before, like constantly.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
And then,
I was like, did they take him on an Easter egg hunt?
Yeah,
like
while he was
24 hours after he had just upchucked his whole guts. Like,
okay, so he'd had a really rough night and then day, and then by the end of the evening he was doing fine, and all that morning up before the Easter egg hunt, he was doing totally fine, acting totally normal. So we're like, okay, yeah, the kid's doing fine. We're okay to do this, and Esther really wanted to do it, so we did. And then, totally fine the whole time, super excited about the Easter egg hunt, and then, all over.
That's the thing about kids, though. They bounce back quick, but so it's hard to read them. It's hard to read when they're, and then all of a sudden, you get like exactly 10 seconds warning.
Yeah, and then again, it was just that on that day. The rest of that same day, he did totally fine into the evening, and then we had a family Easter egg thing the next day. Did totally fine on that hunt all day. He was totally fine, and then somewhere around like 3 or 4, again, just
and here's how this went
randomly.
Down. So
yeah.
my wife and I are sitting down. There's kind of a semicircle of chairs. And we're sitting there, and I'm kind of looking down, and all I hear, Nate, the last thing I hear is Cowan asking my wife, hey, Emily, can you hand me that cup? And then the next thing you hear is splatter on the floor.
Yeah.
Just projectile everywhere.
My son is so funny when he, because he just lately, he's just thrown up, He'll I don't know if it's because he'll have too much sugar or something like that, and he'll run around just like crazy, like it's just the worst cardio program ever. and he'll
Basically,
just
you being a bad parent.
he'll just yeah, pretty much. Shut up, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. And shut your face. Great. You totally threw me off on
I
that
know.
one, you
I know.
rat.
You're welcome.
You're
welcome.
bastard. No, but he'll get this look on his face, and then he just knows. Like, he just knows, and we know. But it's so funny because, like, you want to talk about resilient. Like
Yeah.
5 minutes after he's puked,
Oh,
he's just
yeah.
doing cartwheels, and he just
You
got this
feel
big
better.
smile on his face.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, it's been forever. I don't know what it is, but I've convinced myself that I'm just never going to throw up again, apparently. Because I haven't thrown up, and of course this is going to be my downfall,
Right.
just admitting it right here. I haven't
Yeah.
thrown up for, like, I would say a good 20 years, easily.
Are you serious?
I'm not joking. I'm not kidding.
That's a
But
good stretch.
here's the thing.
Oh, Nate, I can fix that easy. Picture Quant naked. Now, go.
Oh God! No, okay.
Sorry.
So by convincing my body to not throw up through the mouth, it chooses the other.
the other organ.
Yeah, that's true.
So in other words, I've basically just traded. That's all I've
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so throwing up to me is kind of. But I do remember way back when I threw up, you feel like you can run a triathlon afterwards. Like the adrenaline going through your system, just like, "Yeah, I feel so much better."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes later, you're like, I'm
And then 10 minutes
dying
later, you puke again.
again.
Yeah. Or the other thing. Yeah.
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 So he just spent the whole weekend puking, throwing up, doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, well, the weekend, like, once per day. But then, like, Monday came, and then he's back to, now he's doing both ends and all
Oh.
kinds of stuff. So
Jeez.
he's
Good
finally,
times.
today, he is not, he's been totally fine. So I'm thinking he's finally recovered. So it's good.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
All right, anything else from you, Nate?
No, I was looking further into. I had pulled up an an article about the Sacramento egg hunt, which, as you guys said,
yeah.
was a fiasco. So I guess apparently the the nonprofit organization that was supposed to kind of run things had promised 300 volunteers. I guess they were going to hire to facilitate the egg hunt. Apparently 12 were on hand.
What?
Whoa!
12 volunteers to handle 20,000 people.
Oh my god!
I'm going to say that's a bit of poor planning.
Yeah.
20,000
reporting.
people. That's more people than a Justin Bieber
Yeah.
concert. That's like 4 times as many. That is an obscene amount of people. Just to give you a perspective of it, it's horrible.
Okay, now thanks for showing up. You're going to handle those 5,000 people over there.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What? Yeah, go ahead
Yeah.
and just keep them in line. If you could just keep them behind the little taped line on the ground, that'd be great.
Oh
Oh my gosh!
I mean, whoever planned this, I can only assume they're without a job now. But you know, knowing our
Well, what's
crappy
crazy-
city, they were probably promoted.
What's crazy ironic about this is the charity is actually a human trafficking,
was gonna say, it's a human trafficking,
organization.
What?
So you'd think they'd know a thing or two about trafficking humans for an Easter egg.
Hey-o! Is there a square there for Callan makes a bad joke?
Is there a square there for Callan makes an awesome if inappropriate joke?
Joke
No.
about human trafficking?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
there one that specific?
That should be one because we made a few jokes about that.
That is
Or okay, how about this? It's an organization about preventing and helping people recover from human trafficking, but because of the amount of parents who at least temporarily lost their children, it's actually the perfect venue for someone who wants to start trafficking humans. So yeah, there's definitely some irony there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on a technicality, the big thing was this was supposed to be like a Guinness record, or it's supposed to tie with the Guinness record.
Well, that was what drew people.
Yeah.
That was what drew 20,000 people. It's because they all wanted to be a part of this record.
Right.
And but that they talked with a local security officer or whatever, and he's like, yeah, an event like this should have one supervisor for every 50
Yeah.
attendees, which means the event should have had about 400 volunteers. But, you know, they came close. They had 12.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, and they should have known, because the technicality was too that it didn't get registered is you had to have all the eggs ready to go 3 days before the event.
did they have to have all their eggs in one basket?
Yes, they did.
Yes.
It's
Okay,
a
just
very
wanted to
big
check.
basket.
Yeah.
They had it all together 2 days before, so they missed the record because the eggs were delivered late. So at that point, wouldn't you just look at the stats and say, look, we've only got 12 people showing up, and we didn't get the record anyway.
Yeah.
Let's just put a bunch of sorry notes on the pavement when people show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. So needless to say, I'm glad I didn't go to that. Hey, guess what? We've been married almost 10 years, and we finally have DVR.
Hey!
DVR.
That's a great way to usher in 2004.
Isn't that? That's a great way to usher in, 99? When did DVR come in?
I heard TiVo's the company to go with on that.
Really? Is that? No, I hear they're kind of an up-and-comer, you know.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's awesome, man.
Nate, do you still have your TiVo? 'Cause you had TiVo there for a long time.
We did away with the TiVo, I want to say, 3 years ago, I
Okay.
think. Because we went strictly to the kind of the Netflix, Hulu arrangements, and
Yeah.
we realized every single thing we were DVRing, for the most part, was available on, Hulu and,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
nice.
stuff like that. So,
So,
yeah.
Cal, what led to the DVR then? Because you've got all that stuff. You've got Netflix. You've got Amazon.
I've got Netflix, and I don't have the Hulu Plus because why pay for something that I can just AirPlay for free to my TV? But what happened was basically it ended up being $5 more than I was already paying for internet, and then the free TV that comes with my internet. But then I got a whole bunch of all the channels I could ever want, the Freak Show channel, that TLC, and the DVR. So I'm like, well, $5 more, why not? That's cheaper
Nice.
than Hulu. So that's what I did. So my wife's been enjoying that because she enjoys the Freak Show channel, and and I guess we get all kinds of random stuff on there. Plus, it's cool to actually watch current episodes of Arrow instead of having to wait for it to come out on Netflix, which I've had to do. So
Can I just say, Comcast is super weird like that. I tried to cancel my landline just because we don't ever use it. We just want to just use our cell. I'm thinking, oh, this will save us some money.
nope.
The person's like, oh, with the deal that you have, if you go with just internet, your monthly bill increases by $20. I'm like, how does that even make sense?
Yeah.
I'm canceling a service, and you're going to charge me more? I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I guess I'll just keep the landline then if
Yeah.
it's that big a deal.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't
I,
understand.
I'm still looking for that package. At some point, there must be some package where you have so many services that they just give it to you for free.
I know. I'm if I
Okay,
just
so
keep
if I
adding
get
stuff on,
all
is
this, plus the home security system and whatever else you guys have, at some point it's all going to just be free because that's the only way to actually get a discount is to have
exactly
everything.
right.
So it's kind of it's really backwards. You can't just have internet. You have to have internet and TV, otherwise it's $40 more.
They're like, and if you add on landline, we'll reduce it by $30.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get you
Hang on a
guys.
second.
Yeah. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But so my wife was watching. Apparently, we get one of those channels where you get recent movie releases. It's not HBO, but Encore, I guess, which I didn't even know we would be getting. And so she started watching Heaven is for Real. Have you guys seen that?
I've heard of it. I've got the book. I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I have not seen that one yet.
Okay. You know what, guys? The only book I need to go to if I want to learn about heaven
Oh, dear.
is the Bible.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
geez.
Okay?
Yeah.
The Bible. Ever heard of it? Maybe read it. Read it sometime.
Wow. I'm just
Instead
glad
of going other places for your answers to heaven. Okay.
I'm just glad we're not making assumptions.
But so she started watching this. I haven't watched it, but she was starting to watch it, and she told me that apparently, according to the boy, he saw a picture of Jesus, and he's like, that's not what Jesus looks like. Which, of course, you love the kid who's like suddenly a know-it-all. Oh, he went to heaven, so he just knows everything about Jesus and God, right? So he sees a picture of Jesus, and he's like, that's not what Jesus looks like. And so his dad, who happens to be Greg Kinnear, asks, okay, what does he look like? His eyes aren't that color. What color are they? Blue or maybe green. You got a white Jesus in heaven. That's what the 4-year-old kid is telling us. You got a white, blue-eyed or green-eyed Jesus
Look,
in
maybe
heaven.
Jesus,
Middle Eastern Jesus never happened.
maybe Jesus appeared to him in a form that he was comfortable with.
Oh.
Maybe
interesting.
to somebody who's Asian, Jesus would be Asian.
Uh-huh.
Maybe
No.
somebody who's from Peru, Jesus would appear Peruvian. You don't know, Cowan.
I do know. You know what? You know what this tells me?
Maybe to a German, Jesus is blonde-haired and blue-eyed. You don't know.
See, I think they this leads me to the conclusion that they named the movie. Instead of Heaven is for Real, it should have been called Heaven is for Racists. Because apparently you got a white Jesus.
That's two
my
squares.
conclusion.
That's 2 squares. That is
That has to cover
racism.
at least a couple squares.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I guess that makes fun. I think we made fun of religion, so that's if you got that on your bingo sheet, make sure to mark that off. And we made fun of racism, so I think that's in there somewhere.
Yeah, make sure to mark the square that says Greg Kinnear is a racist. That's,
Yeah.
I just
Definitely.
thought he was gay.
Yeah.
he's a gay racist. So
Okay.
allegedly.
He's an actor. Quant, you know about actors. They're all
you know
gays.
them actors, yeah.
Yeah.
They're all gays.
They're all gays.
Just a blanket statement about all you actors.
All right, moving on. This is the part of the show where we choose a little snippet from pop culture or modern society, and we talk about it. We probably are going to make fun of it because, well, I don't know if you've noticed, but our show's title is Pop Mockers, and it's because we mock pop culture. So that's why.
Yes.
So in discovering this whole new world of live television, because we've had cable, but it wasn't HD, and so it's like, why even bother, right? I mean, come on. You're gonna watch non-HD TV. You got way too much time on your hands.
What a
So
chump.
so we discovered we have HD TV now, and we have all the channels that come with it,
All the
including
fixins.
all the fixins, including, again, Freak Show Channel, TLC. And I discovered something I didn't know, and I don't know if you guys watch much live TV or not, or if this is something you can shed any light on for me, but this blew my mind. And what it was, okay, there's a show called My 600 Pound Life on TLC. That did not blow my mind. That is expected behavior for TLC.
I've seen that movie. It's called Precious, I believe.
Oh.
No, nothing?
Oh my God.
Nate.
What? I've been watching Empire. The girl is huge. I'm sorry. Is
she in
yeah.
Empire
I'm
too?
sure she's a
She is.
beautiful soul, but my goodness.
She's a big gal.
She's a
bigger
big gal. Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
That is offensive.
Great. Well, check it off on the bingo box. I'm just
That
trying
anywhere?
I'm trying to help people win something faster.
So, what I noticed was they have this hashtag, My 600 Pound Life, or something like that, showing in the top left corner. On the bottom left corner, they had live tweets. People at home are actually watching the show and then using that hashtag and tweeting out about the show as it's going on. So there's a part of the show where she's like talking about how her mom died and she was too bedridden to get up and visit her, and so now it's really important to her to lose the weight. And so somebody's hashtagging while they're watching the show, lose the weight, do it for your mom, hashtag My 600 Pound Life. And like all throughout the show, there's all these random tweets from random strangers, and I'm like, who thought this was a good idea? I'm watching the show, and I'm expecting, okay, I'm going to be in just utter disbelief from the mere girth of this woman. But what I found was, what was really shocking to me, what really had my mouth agape, was these live tweets. Like, why on God's green earth would I need to know what some random person in Kentucky or whatever thinks about this show while they're watching it? I just don't understand. Like, in fact...
Because, Cowan, there's such things as YouTube comments on videos. I think that's the same type of people that are commenting on these shows. It's just the society that...
Look, when I read through
YouTube
threads, my hope for humanity just plummets.
Yeah.
There's nothing more discouraging than reading through YouTube comments, and it doesn't matter what video it is.
Look, everybody's got to have
I feel like comments are different from tweets, and it's because if you're watching a video on YouTube, there's the comment box right in front of you. To tweet about something...
This is just the next step.
You have to go out of your way to tweet about it. It's like the difference between talking to someone who shows up on your doorstep...
How is that different than comments? You're online, you're sitting there, you're watching a video, and you're typing. It's the same thing as watching.
No,
you're just doing it live.
It's not the same. There's a button while you're watching the show, while you're watching a video on YouTube, there's a comment button. You click that, you type. It's all in the same place. If you're watching a show, you have to open up the Twitter app, type out the My600PoundLife hashtag, and you have to tweet about it. And I'm sorry, but the type of person who would go to all that trouble to live tweet about My600PoundLife is exactly the kind of person I never want to hear from.
The type of people that comment on YouTube videos. Same thing. Same thing. It's just the next step in the evolution.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Cowan, they adapt and they change, and they're coming for you, and they will take over. They are learning. They learn technology. Look, everybody's got to have a full-time something, right? That's just what they do.
Yeah, I guess so.
Have you guys seen this? Is this this was my first time seeing it?
No, I just looked. I just Googled it, and that's horrible looking.
The 600-pound life, or
the 600-pound.
I'm not even talking about that.
What are you talking about?
I'm troubled by the live tweets. I don't even care about the 600-pound behemoth. I'm talking about the live tweets. That's what's troubling to me.
I'm sorry, Cowan. We're having a problem readjusting our focus. We're talking about
You're talking about 600-pound people. I'm like, what's he talking about? Maybe I should live tweet it.
We're talking about real live land monsters, and you guys are all up in arms about a live tweet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Cowan. Like, live tweeting isn't really a new thing, though. I mean, it's been around for a while.
Okay, tweeting about something, but then the fact that they're like, oh, let's put this on the show. That just, it just grinds me the wrong way. I can't even.
Well, what else do you want them to do? You got to keep people interested in this somehow.
Like, yeah, but do you need to broadcast what? I don't have a pet peeve just in this case. I have a pet peeve about like all the news broadcasts that do the same thing. Like, who cares what random Joe nobody has to say on Twitter about what's happening in the news? If I want to find out what some random person thinks, I can hop onto Twitter myself, or I can hop onto Facebook and hear everybody's worthless opinions. I don't need people broadcasting it on my TV screen when I'm just trying to watch a freaking show!
About 600-pound people.
Yeah, just let me enjoy the 600-pound visual in peace, without all these voices everywhere. Let me just enjoy looking down on other people.
But that gives you so many more people to look down on, Cowan. All of the society.
That's true.
That's a good point. Just think how much better you are than all of those people, not only on the TV,
that's a good point,
but tweeting about the TV.
That's right.
That's a good point.
My gosh, your throne must be so high, you're going to need oxygen
I just, you know what, TLC? I expect more from you.
Oh, there it is.
There we are.
Nice play. Nice
All
play.
right, moving on. All right, Facebook Police, this is the part of the show where we peruse Facebook for random ridiculousness, or, as the case may be, it finds its way to us, as happens. Have you guys taken a look at this yet?
Yes, I have.
All right.
I've been perusing.
Nice. So we got a couple things. Obviously, I'm not going to read through the whole thing. I included a large screenshot for your show note viewing pleasure. But so I don't know if you guys are aware, but there is a chemical. Here's basically I posted something, and it's basically this.
Everybody
it's a
that's
fun
playing
fact.
bingo, make sure to shade off that square that says Cowan's Soapbox.
Yeah. Oh, this isn't a soapbox. This isn't a soapbox.
All right, fair enough.
All right, so it's a pretend soapbox, so I guess that counts as one. If California stopped its dependency on the chemical DHMO, dihydrogen monoxide, and discontinued the use of it in our reservoirs and water systems, the water shortage would immediately end. That is an absolutely verifiable fact. And
Okay.
and so you guys know what DHMO is?
Dihydrogen monoxide.
Yeah. Do you know what other names it goes by?
Dihydrogen monoxide.
Why
also
don't you
It's also
enlighten
known
us,
as
Cowan?
H2O, but it's DHMO, dihydrogen monoxide, is its lesser known. The lesser known nomenclature for that chemical, and so it's true that if we stopped our dependency on DHMO, it would end the water shortage, right? Of course, if you don't know that it's actually water and not a dangerous chemical, then it's quite fun. So there's actually some of the dangers of DHMO you guys might not be aware of. It's a highly dangerous chemical substance. It can come in many forms, including as a gas or even solid substance. Though it's most commonly found in liquid form. Large consumptions can cause death. In its gaseous form, it can cause severe burns. Prolonged exposure to its solid form has been known to cause irreparable damage to skin or body parts, or even death. Inhalation, even in small amounts, can be deadly, and so on, so forth. And so a couple people are in on the joke, and they got it. But what I did find was there are a couple people who even Googled it and still didn't catch on to the hoax. And because there's actually a website, a beautiful website called dhmo.org that lists all the dangers of dihydrogen monoxide. And it's all true and it's all factual. But if you don't know they're talking about water, then it totally sounds like the most dangerous chemical in the world.
Nice.
So it's really fun. And then actually another guy who didn't comment on this thread, but actually posted his own comment asking a friend to explain DHMO to him. So I got a kick out of that, of course, because I'm like, yes, I'm spreading the lie, spreading the hoax. So that was my fun little prank. It was actually the day after April Fool's Day, but it's going to count as an April Fool's prank. And guys, okay, here's my soapbox. Just goes to show you that you can still tell a lie even when you're telling the truth.
Oh.
I need like the more you know. That was a clear the more you know moment.
Yeah.
And so I had this other fun Facebook adventure, and I'm not going to go into the topic, but it was highly controversial. You guys saw this crazy thread, right?
Oh, I was reading it through an entire oil change.
Nice.
Quite entertaining.
I posted a question about a highly controversial topic several days ago, and it ended up getting so many people were giving their 2 cents on it that I actually stopped paying attention for a while because it was there's certain people who they comment, and everything they comment on is like 20 paragraphs long, and they just need to work on being a little more concise. And then it kind of died down, and then a law student decided to comment, and I'm like, sweet. Well, this is has to do with the new law, so it's it'd be good to have someone who's kind of studying that a little bit, because as we would expect, someone who's studying law, working on becoming a lawyer, is probably going to be able to give just a logical, unemotional, presentation of the heart of the issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you expect, right? No?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yes. No?
Sure. Yes.
Well, not so much, as it turns out. Turns out, studying to be some kind of law person does not mean you're gonna be able to
What?
present your case in an informative and civil manner. So basically, we started having this conversation, and he's kind of presenting some information, but not really addressing my specific question, kind of talking around it a little bit, and basically saying stuff, in essence, basically, well, I'm a law student, so you should just believe me. And then at one point, he gets so frustrated with my questions that he actually says this: "You're just a crazy and uninformed radical advocating a fringe position." And then later on, he also says, "I actually feel comfortable affirmatively disrespecting you." And very just like, I am, in your face, you're, it doesn't get much more disrespectful than openly saying, I'm okay with disrespecting you publicly. And that's, whatever, that's fine, that's cool, if that's how you find the productive conversation goes for you, whatever. But then Quant, yours and my brother-in-law chimed in, and had a little fun with the guy. He saw he was getting a little emotional.
I love this.
And says, reminds me, you remind me about how being 20-something feels so good. And he said to me, Chris, you better just tell him he's right before he has a testosterone overdose and his head explodes. Give him something to brag about to his girlfriend. So poking some probably well-deserving fun at this guy who's, being
Here's
super...
the sad part about this. Here's the sad part. So somehow...
Don't give away the end. Don't give away the end.
I won't give away,
Okay.
I won't give away the end. Now, this is going back to the beginning. So, people who found time and find time to watch a show about 600-pound people and live tweet about it, I somehow found time, Nate, to read through a good part of this thread. And I started out, and here's the thing, Cowan. The dude in question, at the beginning, I kind of agreed with him. I'm like, oh, you know what? He's making some good points. I can see where he's coming from. But then it kind of, you're right, it started to go downhill. And I said, okay, dude, your responses are like 3 paragraphs long. And in a Facebook thread, you're not impressing nobody. Just get to the stinking point. So I felt kind of bad because I was rooting for the guy at the beginning. I was like, oh yeah.
You're just rooting for anybody who's trying to prove me wrong.
Well, that too. But no, he started out making some points. I'm like, okay, I can see that position. I can see where you're coming from. But then, okay, one thing about being a lawyer, bro, you got to keep your credibility. And your credibility's just starting to slide. Sliding pretty hard. So I felt bad. I ended up feeling bad for the dude.
Yeah. Well, I did too.
Like, oh man, you started out on such a positive note, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I was excited when he first started chiming in. I'm like, hey, this is somebody who's kind of studying some legal matters, so maybe he'll have some good insight. And then it ended up being just kind of, okay, no, you're just emotional. You're not actually wanting to have a conversation, so that's not going to go well. And so, anyways, it was funny because, okay, so after he, calls me a crazy fringe, radical, and says he's totally cool with openly disrespecting me for daring to question him, and then Ben pokes a little bit of fun at him, saying it must be great being a 20-something. Chris, just tell him he's right before he has a testosterone overdose. Then his response is, well, thanks for bullying me, for sharing my knowledge on the law, and for trying to answer Chris's question, you guys. That's a direct quote.
Those sensitive, legalistic 20-year-olds.
Yeah. It's like, really? Really? You're accusing him of bullying you after all the crap you just said in this conversation. It's like, dude, if you want to be disrespectful, be disrespectful. But if you can dish it, be able to at least take a portion of it back. Somebody making fun of you for being a testosterone-filled 20-year-old, I don't think that's really bullying. Maybe that's just me. I'm not a testosterone-filled 20-year-old, though. I'm a testosterone-filled 30-year-old, so,
Sure.
There's a difference.
I just don't know if I can relate. Yeah. All right, so yeah, I think the lesson we gotta wrap everything up in this section with a moral, right? I think the moral of this story is never question me. I think that's.
Oh dear goodness.
Okay, and that's excessive promoting in your bingo.
That's not promoting.
And our weekly topic is.
That's not promoting. That's back patting. I resent that.
Yeah.
No, the lesson is, if you're gonna be a law student, be a law student, not an emotional wreck. And if you're gonna do name calling, be prepared to have someone else call you names without calling them a bully, and everybody just get along. Everybody just get along. Give peace a chance.
And now you can check the bingo box marked perspective.
There you go. There you go.
Actually exists. Please check it now.
Oh, it does?
It does.
See, that is important. That is, if I'm, people might be listening to this show, and they might be thinking, this show is just frivolous. It's just ridiculous. It's just incredibly funny, and Chris is an incredibly handsome host.
My God.
But
Excessive promoting.
that's back patting, all right?
No, it's promoting.
But really, the hallmark of this show is perspective. It is all about perspective. We bring perspective to the world. That's our ministry here. That's our mission.
You just need to move on to the next segment so fast.
So
quickly.
All right, moving on. Weekly topic, the part of the show where we choose a topic each week and we discuss it. And this week, Quant, you chose this topic. Why don't you introduce it?
Yeah, so we were talking about different things, and I mentioned earlier about just talking about sports, and it's just I watch it. I don't know about you guys. I'll watch sports every now and then, but it really doesn't affect my life that much. So I got to thinking, what would actually make me, like, sitting down and watching somebody who's 600 pounds try and lose weight, what would make me sit down and watch sports, and not even watch sports, but even care enough about it to live tweet it and let people know how I feel and what I think about sports?
Yes.
Because apparently I don't have a clue, as I said earlier in the show, what's even happening other than just seeing it on TV real quick. So thought, how could we get the average dude or gal who doesn't really pay much mind to sports, how could we get them interested?
Yes.
So that's kind of the thesis behind this question.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And as we saw last episode, when Quant thought that the Redskins was a foosball team instead of a soccer team, he knows something about not finding sports particularly interesting. So
I believe it was water hockey.
Oh,
Right.
Okay.
Water hockey.
Yes.
I think it was.
It's after the ice melts. It's
Yeah.
summer. It's
right.
hockey in the summer.
All right.
Let me just preface this whole segment by letting the listeners know that any sort of ignorance that they may feign about sports is true, legitimate ignorance. I just want to throw that out there. That if they do a really good job sounding like they have no idea what they're talking about as far as sports are concerned, when it comes to Cowan and Quant, it is dead on. All right,
Wait a minute.
continue.
Oh, and you're the king of all sports, Nate?
I never said I was the king of all sports. I just know I appreciate
what
and
is
watch
going
it
on
a
here?
heck of a lot more than you guys do.
That's probably true.
All right. So as usual, we put it out there to our Break Room Studios community on Facebook, which you can join if you're not part of it at facebook.com/groups/breakroomstudios. And we put that question out there to our listeners, and once again, they did not fail to provide us lots of great ideas. So Christopher Battles, always first at bat, said, you just add these 3 words, to the death. And I agree. I think that is brilliant.
That's number 1 so far. That's fantastic. You can't
Okay.
go wrong.
And then my hipster brother Joshua, oh, hey, that's on bingo. Mark that one off.
No, hipster, yeah.
Hipster. My hipster brother said better outfits. He's quite a guy when it comes to style.
Better outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, which
Tweed jerseys.
yeah, apparently.
Jerseys.
I asked him, like, what outfits should they wear, and he said there should be leather and color schemes that don't remind him of Gatorade. So,
Nate, is that why they call them sports coats?
That's right.
that's why.
Thank you.
I think I'm trying to envision, like, what kind of clothing could they wear that would appeal to the hipster culture.
Well, first of all, that you're calling them outfits. That's one.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
that's
probably.
true.
And they changed them during intermission. So
Yeah.
just make sure it'll
Well, I
For
think-
sure.
switch
I think
things up.
for sports like football and things, just replace the helmets with berets and just see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
I think is the best bet.
Nice.
Braves, yeah.
Nice.
Maybe go back to short shorts for the basketball
There you
players.
There you go.
It's
The
definitely
knee-high
more,
socks.
yeah.
Yeah.
And gosh, ascots. Just add random ascots, and I think probably curly mustaches is probably a mandatory part of soccer, something like that.
That's right.
Let's see.
And rather
This would
than-
make it interesting.
Rather than playing a big thumping jock jam like on the PA system, they
Yeah.
could just play a record player like in the little.
Come on,
Little-
my baby.
speakers.
Come on, my
Little,
sweetie.
little,
Come on,
put
my
the
cutie.
Victrola in the middle of the stadium.
You know, play
Yeah.
a little Beatles on 45s and.
Yeah.
see
No,
how it
it's got to be pre-Beatles. It's got to be 40s or earlier. It's got to
Oh,
be
okay. All right.
ragtime and like maybe
see,
Sinatra.
I just don't have that hipster swag down.
Some
Really,
some
if you're really gonna
Burlives.
go, just go commit all the way and just play Vivaldi, okay? 4 seasons.
It's got to be Cole
Just get
Porter.
some class.
Some Cole Porter.
There you go.
Here's another one from Christopher Battles. The ability to start playing for the other team during a game.
Just whenever you want, whenever you
Just-
feel like it.
Yep, just whenever you feel like it. Just
Like,
kind of. You know what? They seem like they're getting the upper hand. I think I'll switch over there.
You know,
That
it's like our
moves-
team's really sucking up. I
Yeah.
just think I'm gonna walk over there right now.
They
That
call
would make it
move
interesting.
The Benedict
Especially
Arnold.
at some point, you're going to wind up with like everybody on one team and then like all against one guy.
Now that
That-
would be interesting.
That would be interesting. Or you could randomly when you switch, you have to tag someone else out so that they switch back to your team.
There you go.
That would be exciting. I think that's a great idea. This is another one, American Gladiators Returns, which it did a while back, like what 6 years ago or something.
Yeah, I don't think it did so well though.
I don't think it
Oh.
did. It was pretty entertaining to watch, but really the '90s version was clearly better.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
if only
fantastic.
if only they didn't keep the same gladiators. That was
Yeah.
they were all just
Yeah.
Ah, there you
saggy and roided up.
I don't know, that tennis ball cannon, man. That thing was a treat.
Yeah.
He also says encourage steroid use, which is I think I've always thought that would just make everything more exciting.
don't
I
think
was
it
almost
needs to
about
be
to make that
encouraged.
one of mine. Yeah.
No, I think just making it okay would really. Then you just got all kinds of super just crazy buff soccer players just
Yeah.
beating each other
I'd
up.
like
I
to
think it'd
see
be awesome.
everybody smoking weed while they're playing. See what happens.
That would be good too. Yeah. Let's see. Ice skating to the death. Isn't that something we talked about on the Olympic episode? Where we
Yeah, I
talked
think
about how
that-
to make
I think-
Olympics more exciting? Ice skating to the death. I think definitely a good one. Brian, snipers take out players that violate rules, and
Ooh.
refs that miss violations. That would make a lot of people on
Ooh.
across
Yeah.
the board very happy.
A lot of people are gonna die.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone says, "Oh, the Mayan ball court rules should apply, Apocalypto style." So if you've seen that
jeez.
movie, lots of decapitated heads going around. Yeah.
Refs will present the sacrificial knife at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. Joe Cowan has a great one. Instead of balls, make them throw and run with kittens. It will suddenly become, here's the key word, relevant. Or small children. Those are great ideas.
One of the two.
Definitely, controversial is always relevant. So I think that's a great one. Or the losing team signs a 4-year contract to become janitors. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see what else we got here. All dogs in races must be rabid from Christopher Battles. That's a good one. Oh, winning horses are turned into glue and auctioned off.
Oh,
that's a twist.
That is
That's
a
a
twist,
twist.
especially for the winning horse.
That's a twist because-
interesting take.
Because how much would that screw with the jockey's head? He's like he's trained to win, but he knows that if he wins the race, he loses his best friend.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Isaac Chandler, this is a good one. Periodically and without warning to any party involved, throw cheerleaders into the game as obstacles.
It's obstacles.
Can you imagine that in a football game? How awesome that would be!
Does that include the Daytona 500? Like what?
Oh,
Yeah! Oh man!
they had
And-
cheerleaders.
Yep. Extra points for injuries given to members of opposing team. Another one from Isaac. Allow players to bring non-lethal weapons onto the field with them, including stun guns, tasers,
Yeah, there you go.
water balloons, steel-toed boots, etc.
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be awesome.
Maybe
and
water
then,
balloons first and then tasers. That
Yes.
would really
Yeah.
step it up.
Oh my gosh! Go stand in that puddle over there.
and then Laureen throws in one free beer. So
Hello, Lorraine. You win. You win.
yeah,
Number one.
I think so.
I will
so.
go see any sport if it involves that.
Yeah. So I think they came up with some great ones. It's going to be hard for us to really think of any to add to that. Do you guys have any to throw in there?
Yeah, I've got some.
Pretty good.
All right. What do you guys have?
Go for it, Mr. Sports
All right.
Expert.
Okay, so my first one is companies can tie an irrelevant team's performance with someone's job performance. So this actually involves. So it's a simple matter of saying, hey,
That makes it more relevant.
you guys across the board in this company get a 10% raise if the Cubs ever win the World Series. And
Nice.
just based on the track record, it's never going to happen. So you can
Nice.
get people's hopes up, but you can get them invested in the games like no other.
Yeah, and maybe even invested in bribing referees or something.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yep.
They can
That'll
fix
work.
the game. So
Exactly.
You guys have one?
Fantastic. You remember way back when the all the cartoonists? I think we've talked about this. Swapped and like
Yeah.
drew other cartoons. So I'd like to see baseball players now playing hockey, and maybe basketball players trying on football for size. Just
Yes.
have them all swap one day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See how they do in another sport.
See, that actually ties into something I've always wanted to see was the New York Giants versus the San Francisco Giants.
There you
Tell
go.
me that wouldn't be awesome.
But what sport would they
That'd
play?
be pretty good.
Would it be like a combination of baseball and football? So
I
maybe
think it should be a combination.
full contact baseball.
I think so.
tackle.
Oh, yeah.
I think we could either play 2 games, 1 round of baseball, 1 round of football, and see who wins.
Every other
Yeah.
inning they rotate.
Yeah. Or we
Yeah.
find some kind of weird concoction where they're like pitching footballs and
so-
batting them and tackling people when they're out.
So let me tell you how this would go. You'd have an awkward game of baseball where the New York Giants just get completely creamed.
Yeah.
And then you would have a very, very short football game where the San Francisco Giants literally die on the field.
And
Nice.
the thing is, everybody has to wear their regular uniforms, right? So you've got
Yeah.
football players coming up to
yes.
bat.
Without exception.
Yeah,
No
and
exception.
trying to field in their uniforms, and then baseball players trying to play football in their uniforms.
That'd be
good.
awesome.
To
That'd
the
be
death.
awesome.
Yep.
To the death. Always add to the death. That'd be good. Let's see. Nate, you got another one?
Yeah, this one definitely isn't very PC, but, hey. I would say you can choose any sport you want, and all you have to do is substitute a midget for the ball.
That is not PC.
No, it's not
That-
PC
that's
at all.
like the
but
kittens.
But
That's
let me
like
tell
the
you. Okay, you could either use a kitten or an infant, whatever you want to do.
Right.
But the point is that it's guaranteed viewers. Sadly,
That's true.
I think a lot of people would tune in.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Quant, you got another?
Nope. Done.
That's cool.
The other ones were good. I can't top most of
Yeah.
those that were.
I've
Well,
got. What's that? Oh, go ahead.
No, were you gonna say something, Quant?
Well, I was just gonna say I only had one other one on mine, but if
Okay.
you want to share one,
I've got a couple more. So, I think the key here to make sports more interesting and more relevant, it really has to do with who the players are. And, people get religious when it comes to, what team they're rooting for. They'll deck out their entire house or room. Why not actually make sports religious and actually have each team represents a world religion? So you're not just rooting for a team. You're actually rooting for your worldview as represented by football players or basketball players. So it could be
That'll-
Christianity versus
with our
Islam.
Luck, with our luck, the Christianity would be assigned to the Buffalo Bills, and we would just be like, dang it.
And then we
No.
can break down from there the
Yeah.
Protestants versus the Catholics, and then it just gets
Oh, there you go. There you go. Nate, what you got?
So I was thinking any sport that involves any sort of lawn or turf or just playing on the ground.
Mhm.
I think before the game, they should just plant a single landmine in just a secret
jeez.
location.
Oh, gee.
Now, it would have a very small hair trigger, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the odds of anybody really stepping on it during the game are slim. But every once in a while, you would have just a glorious moment, and everybody would be tuning in for it. I know mine are really dark and morbid, but I'm just saying. I don't know. Sadly, I think that would pique America's interest if they knew
I think so.
there was just a very 1 out of 1,000 chance
Yeah.
that somebody could go up in a blaze of glory.
I think that would be awesome. That'd be awesome. Another idea, and this kind of ties in again to some stuff we talked about already. What if instead of having athletes playing, we had? Oh, hold on a second here. Hey Nate, can you talk? Oh, you muted yourself. Okay. I'm like, crap. Did I mute you?
Sorry,
accidentally?
no.
He's
That's
enjoying a delicious something or other. I can hear him chewing.
Yeah, I can hear you chanking in the background.
I know what you're talking
Okay.
about.
Okay.
Put the
Instead
Twizzlers
of-
down, Nate.
Instead of having these fit athletes playing football, what if we got all the TLC people to play all the sports?
Jeez.
You have the 600-pound lady go up against the 1,000-pound guy.
See, that's brilliant, Count, because I was
Yeah.
just thinking the same thing. Like take the athletes out and bring circus performers in. So
Yeah.
you've got all different range of
Oh,
people.
that's good. That's
So,
good. Which is what TLC basically
Exactly.
is. You have the 19 kids and counting basically playing against themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Against
then-
clowns.
Yeah. And then, I think you could really have something there. The
Lion
TLC
Trainer.
Bowl.
Yeah, the Lion Trainer has a distinct advantage on whatever
Yeah.
he's doing.
I think so.
Duck Dynasty versus Cirque du Soleil.
The strong man probably has some kind of advantage. The trapeze artist, yeah. What if the Super Bowl decided the election? We all know voting is meaningless anyways. The Electoral College is rigged. So what?
Man. Sweet Moses.
9/11 was an inside job. So what if?
It's true. I saw the video.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think we all saw the videos of 9/11. Quan, thanks for reminding us.
No,
Thanks for bringing up
No,
the painful
Cal,
past
here's the thing.
in America.
Cowan, you didn't really see the videos because you
Oh.
only saw what they wanted.
What they
you to
wanted
see.
you to. Okay.
All right.
So what if football decided
Go
the
talk to
Super
your
Bowl?
father-in-law.
What if the Super Bowl decided the next president? I think that would definitely make it all the more relevant. And then oh no, that was all. I already did the Giants versus Giants one, so I think that would definitely make it worth it. So all right, well we are definitely out of time. Thank you all for joining us for this episode of Pop Mockers, and thank you so much for all your ideas and submissions. Hey, if you happen to have any content ideas for Facebook Police or a weekly topic or some sort of pop culture thing that needs to be mocked, send it to us. You can find all our contact info at popmockers.com. Other than that, hey, leave us a review on iTunes or Stitcher, however you found us. Send us a review there. We love that. It helps us get discovered by more people. We'll catch you next time. Remember, check out popmockers.com for show notes and everything else. And that's a wrap.
To the death.
Yes.
Nate, turn your camera back on.
What do you mean? I never turned it off to begin with.
I had to turn it off because your audio was all over the place.
Yeah, that's weird.
All
Right,
over the
you guys are back
place.
on. There you go.
Thank you, oh gracious director.
I'm done banishing you.
Awesome.
Fantastic. What are you in your office there, Nate? Where are you at? What room?
Yeah,
are you in?
yeah. And this is the office.
Oh,
So-
okay. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm directly connected to the line, so I don't know why mine was. If it was jumping around. So
Yeah. I don't know either.
I don't know.
We had Francisco and Paul joining us. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, that's awesome, guys.
It's,
Thank you.
Sorry I'm not always able to respond to your chats in the old chat room there.
Glad to have you part, though. Fantastic.
Francisco, you're working on your resume. What's up with that?
Resume.
He said
Resume.
something about working on his resume.
Oh.
We expect you to give us your full attention, okay? I'm not
I
like-
for one,
it's like I
I
needed
for one
some
wish
good-
you good luck. in
finding a
your
new
business
job
venture.
to support your
Yeah.
family can wait.
Yeah. Just need some good background noise.
Well, that's exactly what we are.
Pop markers. We provide background noise.
That's right.
Paul, you can't hear what? Oh, that everybody dies. Oh. That's right. Francisco
Did you have-
knew what was playing, but yeah.
You'll have to tune in to the recording.
Yeah.
Was that coming through the computer audio coming through last week, Callan, to the live feed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason that worked is because none of us were remote. We were all in the studio.
Oh,
so
we had the space to do it.
yeah. This kind of method has actually worked before through Skype. So what I might do next time, if you guys call in remotely, is I might have you join via Skype,
Yeah.
and then still just broadcast via Google Hangout if I can figure out how to do all those things.
Wow.
Or I can try to figure out some way to set up a mix minus so that you guys.
Hey, is John? Is there
Not
somebody
hearing
named
yourself.
John on there still? On the live show? Was there a John on there?
Not that I saw.
Cool. I got an email that somebody was listening to.
Was it John in Albuquerque? He's our favorite.
No, not John and ABQ. No. That's cool. He's the producer of a local TV show here. He was listening live.
Oh, nice. Is he gonna hire us to be on TV? He definitely should. Obviously, you can see I'm so photogenic, and you guys are, only half ugly. So, could definitely.
Where is that end button? There we go. Leave call.
How do I set this to automatically switch between the cameras? It was doing it earlier.
So when whoever was talking, it switches to there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not doing that at the moment. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. I think it'll do it now. Somebody talk.
Nate, say something.
All right.
There you go.
You're listening to me talk. Is my face coming up on the screen?
Yep.
It's
Awesome.
not doing it on mine though. How does it do it on mine?
No, you don't
Callan?
see it. You don't see it on your own.
Yeah. But it'll show up in the last recording depending on
Oh, well. Oh, okay.
my controls.
Yeah.
So.
Got it. Well, I don't know. Google Hangouts pretty sweet, but yeah, if
Yeah, I don't know. I have to. There's got to be a better way.
There's got to be.
so, what do you think of doing it at home, Nate? How'd that feel?
Feels great. Feels great. As you can
It's a nice
see-
commute to your bedroom after this, huh?
No, yeah, it's not bad at all. I mean, don't get me wrong. The in-person thing, I think, lends just a little bit more
Yeah.
exuberance, a little bit more
Yeah.
energy, because it's just so easy.
Yeah.
While I'm sitting in my chair here, and like you said, the bed is 20 feet away. Just be like,
I could just go there right now.
Yeah.
wait to sleep.
Yeah.
So no, it was good. I think in a pinch, I think this works very well.
Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah.
I'm glad we were able to test it out
Absolutely.
and avoid you getting the pukes from my son.
Exactly. And now I get to make, from Megan's birthday present, some Moscow mules, which I'm going
Oh.
to
Okay, what's
Hey,
a
I think
Moscow
I-
Mule? I don't know what that is.
Moscow Mule.
I was afraid to Google it.
Let's see. Here are the ingredients in a Moscow Mule because I've had them and they are fantastic. They are vodka, ginger beer,
Ooh.
Okay.
sugar
Can't go
syrup.
wrong with ginger beer.
Nope. Lime juice, a sprig of mint, and a slice of lime, and it's all served in these frozen copper mugs,
Nice.
and they are really good.
Sounds amazing.
So if you guys are coming on Saturday, we may actually have to.
Yeah, so I think
Yes.
I misspoke, Nate. I thought I got off work at 8:00, but I think actually I get off in the afternoon. So I think we'll be there for the whole,
well,
be there
hey,
for the whole
whenever
time,
you can
so.
make it, you can make it. That's awesome.
Well, fantastic. Oh, wait. Are we still playing bingo? If so, I think there's wives conversation in there.
Is there
one
wife?
of the bingos? Yeah.
There's wife's story. There's wife's story. I don't know if
Wife's
that can be
story.
considered a.
Oh, well, my TLC stuff might have to do with wife's story.
That is
oh, yeah.
true.
Heaven is for real. Heaven is for racists.
We'll never forget that.
I'll make sure everybody remembers it. I might make that the
Yeah.
title, unless you guys have any better suggestions.
That sounds like a book that would be brought up on Success Face. Heaven is for racists.
For
Heaven
racists.
is for racists.
I
Or
just wanna
heaven
see
is
the
heaven
picture
is
that
for
you're going to
rich.
choose for that.
That's right.
Oh,
Heaven is for the rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally in line with all of biblical scripture.
Yes.
For the short, the subtext is Heaven's cover charge.
They just started accepting plastic.
But you have to have the platinum card.
Wait. Paul says, "Don't do it, Callan. Talk to Nerdist." What are you talking about? Don't do what?
Talk to Nerdist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that one of the squares?
Well, Nerdist is a whole podcast.
Nerdist
cluster.
is. Yeah.
So I listened to a couple of them on there.
Oh yeah.
How
Do they have a "Heaven is for racist" thing or something?
Not that I know of. But the day is young. I don't know. They might. Who knows?
Oh, okay. No, I see. Okay, he's talking about because Francisco offered to, if you want to talk about podcast setups, Callan, let me know. And Paul's responding to that. Don't do it, Cowan. Talk to Nerdist. Okay.
Gotcha.
It's all making sense now. All making sense.
So are you
Cool.
gonna get a board then, Cowan, or?
I'm thinking about it. I'm resisting. Although you guys, I didn't really have a whole lot of mixing power. Definitely don't have post-production mixing for you guys, and sounded okay. So my biggest problem with a mixer is I'll be giving up the ability to do any post-production mixing. Right now, when you guys are live in studio, it goes through USB into the computer, and then I can adjust the levels if I need to. I don't find myself having to do it that much, but then you know you have it. You
Gotcha.
know.
No worries.
But yeah, I'm considering getting a mixer because it would be nice to, you know, be able to mute people when I need to, be able to set up a mix minus if I want to, all that stuff. It's just, I don't know. Mixer shopping is
Dicey.
yeah.
Dude, I got a guy, so you know. If you
I
need-
got a guy.
You got a guy.
Well, what do
I
we have?
knew
We
it.
got.
You
Oh,
actors.
you need. You said that you need USB out, right?
That's what I-
with the tracks.
Yeah, so I'll definitely be getting one that has USB out. But the problem is a lot of the ones that have USB out in 2 channels.
2 channels, yeah.
And whereas my current interface has like 6 channels, which is great.
Nice.
So I'd
through
be
the USB. You're getting 6 channels off the USB.
Yep.
Oh,
6. I can record in like 6 different channels. So normally what I'll have is I'll have one channel dedicated to each of us, and you know, its own separate recording track, and then a stereo channel for the audio. And,
Hey, Nate, did you ever
I'd be
read
giving
the,
that up.
Yeah, Nate, did you ever read any instructions on our mixer at all? Because I know our mixer throws a USB. I'm not saying that we use it for the podcast, but
Hey, good night, Paul.
It has the USB capable, but I don't know. We've never
I
really
didn't know
tried
how
it
many
with
channels
anything,
it,
so,
how many
yeah.
channels it threw out. I didn't know if you'd come across that in
No, because
Maybe
we've
but-
never really had to test it. So,
literature. Okay.
but wait,
Yep.
didn't we try it for one of those weddings where we connected the USB to?
No, I just come.
The mixer?
I come in audio out for
Oh,
that.
that's true. Yeah. All
I
right.
just do audio. Yeah. So-
Not sure.
Huh. Wonder.
Anywho.
Might just be 2 channels. All right.
All right,
what,
gents.
What beer
well,
were you? What
me
beer
and the
were you
missus
drinking,
have to talk about some things before bedtime. So,
Sure, talk about some things.
Talk
well,
Right.
it is her birthday tomorrow.
Oh,
So you're gonna wear your birthday suit, I see. Yeah.
Hey-oh.
No, we're gonna
Now-
do budget stuff, so that's
Nice.
great.
Oh, that's
funny.
fun.
Budget
How
some
exciting.
love, right?
See,
Happy-
sweetie, we truly
happy-
have no money for this weekend.
Oh,
Start a GoFundMe or something.
That's exactly right. Oh, speaking of which,
Budget stuff. Is that
Hey.
what you're calling it these
Hey,
days?
Megan.
all right,
Oh.
you gents have a good evening. Will you stop it? Will you stop? Get out of here.
See you Nate.
They're just being
Nice.
boys. All right.
See, but
I think
he's funny.
he's so funny. I think we're gonna make this bingo thing has got to be like an ongoing staple. I think
It's pretty
it's
good, man.
it's
It was pretty
brilliant.
darn entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when you sent the link to it, I was like, oh,
That's awesome.
the wording of it was pretty funny, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
All right. Good night,
So-
Francisco. Good night, everybody. I think it's
See you,
time to
folks.
be done.
All right, talk
All
to you later.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.